Okay, so we're just gonna do a wall and a wall and a sidewalk to import into Substance for painting. So I'll just bring myself this right here. Uh, Make it about this size. So this, and I'll do Control D. So this is gonna be my wall, and I'm just gonna do like a little curve. Let's move this over here. And this is what I'm gonna do, right? So I want to what do you call it? Give this a little bit of detail. So I'm just selecting the edges, shift right click, I'll do a bevel edge. And remember my rule, 2 or more. So let's do this, Q to quit. And sometimes I'll do this. I'll just take like a couple edges, Q, and I might like take this block right here and just push it down a little bit. Then I might take some vertexes here, push them up or something. Just like real slight. See how I'm doing it just a little bit? And it's just to give it a little bit of like, just so it's not a block. So now I'm gonna UV this, right? So I'm gonna take this too. I'm gonna select this, shift right click, bevel edge, 2 or more. I'll make this a tight bevel. And you know what? I'll do the same thing with this, just a little bit. I'm just gonna take some edge loops and push some of these vertices around a little bit. So just take a couple of them and pull it out. Like I said, this is like really subtle. Somebody's phone's blowing up. My phone was blowing up earlier. Now it stopped. So I'm a little sad. Click right here. And, oh yeah, so now it's time for UV. I'll just go to UV and I'll take this right here and I'm gonna go to UV automatic. Now let's look. The main thing is that we're gonna investigate this Substance self UVing thing. But for now, we're just gonna look at this and let's UV it. So I'll select this face right here because this is this top face. And I'm gonna make sure that these are square. So I'm just gonna look on it dead on and I'm gonna scale this face until these are square. All right. Now, if we look inside of here, we see that this is our top face, our main face. And the rest of them are kind of, we're not gonna see this, the back or the other one. We might see this one. Yeah, I think we are gonna see this one. So this is our good piece, right? So we'll take this and we're gonna press W and we're gonna send it into heaven, right? And this piece right here, we wanna see. So let's make these square. So I'm gonna press R to scale this down. And I'm gonna actually scale it up so I can see the squares a little bit better. But the main thing is that they're square and then I'll scale them later. So this is great. I'm gonna send it up here. So this is our other piece in heaven. And I'll make sure that those look the same in a little bit. I'll select this face. So we see that it's this tile right here. I'll double click on this. I'll press R to scale it up a little bit. And I'll scale it like this to make sure, oh, to get them to be square. Now, one thing to note, if you look at this, right, and you look at this piece looks like this from this side, right? So these are squares, and that piece looks like that. And this right here, these are squares, and this is this piece. And actually what I wanna do is I'll go like this, and I'll look at this corner, and I'll press R to scale, and I'll scale this until these squares, see how they're really small, this compared to this? I want them to look the same. I want them to match. And this is called textile density, right? So I look at it and I go, all right, those look kind of like the same. So this is cool. So we have this and this. kind of look the same. And here's our other piece, right? That we sent to heaven. So let's press R to scale. Well, actually, let's take these two, scale them down to make them match this. Actually, let's go like this. And it doesn't matter how big they are, we just need to make sure that they match in terms of size. So this is looking like it's about the same size now, right? So we have this now, and we have this. Now these pieces over here, if I press 4, we're not going to see them, right? So it's the bottom, the side, and the back. So because we're not going to see them, we're going to send them to hell, right? Because they're bad. And these are the good guys. So we're going to go right here to this square right here, and we're going to scale these down. And what we want is, we want these to be in this viewport as large as it can be. So I'll press E to rotate, hold down J to get the increments. And so I want this and this and all these pieces, because remember, they're all the same. The size of the squares are all the same. So we want this to be as big as possible in here. So if I put it right here, I think it can't get that much bigger because of the length of this and this. And so this is good, right? So these are our good guys. They're in here and everything's wonderful. And then we have our bad guys down here, right? So we'll just take these and we'll put them over here. We'll press R to scale and we'll just put them in here. They could be big or small. They're bad, so it doesn't matter as long as they're inside of this. Now, if I click on this right here, right, and let's say one of these is sticking out or something like this, it'll tell you because it'll light up, right? And that's what you don't want. You want them to be inside of here. Ooh. So this is a sidewalk. Well, I was gonna make a few of these. I think I might just make one. How am I gonna do this? Well, let me UV this wall. And I'll decide that. So this works the same way. I'll just look at this right here. I have this. This is the default UVs. I'll go to UV automatic, and it'll split all those faces across, just like the cereal box, right? I'll select this face because this is the tile I want. And then I'll just double click, and we know that this is the face that I want. I got some extra faces on the side. I don't know why. But since that's the case, we can just, why did that happen? It's weird. So I'll try this one more time. Automatic. Not sure why it selected that, but there's another thing we can do, right? I can go over here and go to faces and then select all these faces in front. Control deselect this. So I just have these faces in front selected. Now check this out. We're going to use a different type of UV other than automatic. We're going to go to UV and we're going to go to planner and we're going to go to the little options box right here. Now the way we're looking at this is if you look right here in the gnomon, it says Z. So that means Z is facing this way. So it says X, Y, and Z. So if I put it on Z and I press project, now if I press 5, what it did is it took this face, this particular face, and it just snatched all the faces on this and it laid it out right together. So we don't have to deal with that problem. Now these over here are bad boys, right? So press W, we'll send it down here. Press R to scale. We'll scale this down. And now we have this. So we have this face, which is great. If I press 4, you can see we have this top face, and these are all the other faces, the back and all the stuff we're not going to see. But this top face is what we really care about. So it's 4, I'm pressing 5 to get back in solid mode. And I'll look at this, and these need to be square, right? So I'll just move this, and I kind of get up close sometimes. So I want to make sure these are looking square. So not rectangle, but square. Ooh. So remember, these are, oh yeah, those are our bad boys. So they're down where they need to go. So we'll take this, and now we fit this into this view right here. And if you look at it, look at the numbers, right? It says UV, UV1, UV2. So you know that this is gonna go in the program properly. And whatever we put on here, it's gonna be 1-to-1. So any image we put on here, it's gonna look good. But if this was like warped or something like that, it's gonna always look bad. So there we go. It's looking good. And it's as big as it can be in this space. Well, almost as big as it can be. All right, so let me take it down a little bit. All right, cool. Now we just need to take our bad boys, put them in here, and this is good. So right now, this is our wall. We have this right here. This is our sidewalk. So I'll just control click. Oh, no, I was thinking different program. Uh, Control D to duplicate it. So I'll put this one right here. I'll select this right here. Control D. Duplicate this. One more time. Control D. Duplicate this. I've already UV'd one, so I don't need to UV the rest. All right. Cool. So this is wall. This is sidewalk. Actually should have just copied the name. I mean, named it first and then copied it, but it's okay. So I can just double click, Control C on the name, and I'll just go to the next one and just do Control V, and it'll just add like a number behind it. Now I'll select all of them. I'll do Control G to group. I'll just do sidewalk underscore GRP for group. Let me put this, so middle mouse button clicking, put it in here. So the sidewalk group, and we have our wall. All right. So to seal the deal, I'm gonna select everything, and I'm gonna go over here to delete by type history. Cool, and we're all set. Now we're gonna export this to Substance Painter. And to do that, I'm gonna use FBX. I'm gonna go to File, Export Selection. Yeah. And then let me find my location. Sorry, so I'm in here right now, and I'm gonna go to, so let me go to wall, yeah, FBX export selection. And that's how we export it.